Okay, I think I'm live. Let's get this on Twitch too. Come on. Let's hide this a second. I need to. Twitch is working. Okay. How's that look? Yeah. So today I want to do a video breaking down a lot of the stuff I saw and liked, and a couple of things I didn't like with the One Piece official trailer reaction trailer from the other day. Um, Heads up, I liked most of what I saw. Like over 90% was great, good. Um, I hope I'm not getting my hopes up too much because I've seen some of the anime movies and stuff that I did not like. There are some that look so bad to me, even though I didn't know much about them, that I didn't even bother watching. Like the Death Note one. I heard that's pretty bad. It was so cringy to me, I didn't want to watch it. And I didn't even see much of Death Note. I need to finish that. I would prefer to read it first. I wonder who publishes that actually. I'll have to make a note to find it because I would like to read the official translation online. I can't. I'd like to buy the whole thing someday. I'd love to get a lot of manga. But anyways, uh, so I just was stewing over this over the weekend and trying to think of things I didn't notice and didn't notice. And yeah, I made a list of all the events. I took some screenshots here to put up in a minute. And so this trailer shows a lot. Is that? This trailer showed practically everything, like almost all the major villains are shown. Actually, that's one other thing too. I thought it was funny. They the two villains they did not show out of all of them are two that are almost irrelevant after this arc saga, and one of them I'm disappointed is then that would be Captain Kuro in particular because he's one of my favorite. But he is my favorite. Arlong, when I say one of my favorite, I was trying to say he's one of the best villains in this saga, I believe, and I think, and he is my favorite one out of all of them. So we have like, I think it's six main villains, right? And they start with Alvida, then there's Morgan, Captain Morgan. Uh, by the way, I love that rum. I wish they still made that special edition one they had years ago. Then there's Buggy, then Captain Kuro, then Don Krieg, and then Arlong. And Arlong's arguably, probably easily the best villain because he's such a despicable guy too, and he sets up a very good subplot that Oda puts up later on with the world building, and unfortunately, he's also a villain we still haven't really seen presently. I was actually just rereading parts of. I didn't realize they had a. There's a little bit. That's a little thing where I was reading. I was reading a part of Impel Down where they escaped, and they showed a little flashback of Jinbei talking about how he wants to make amends for allowing Arlong to go free. I'd forgotten that Arlong. I think Jinbei and did like a trade where he would become I don't know, I'll check my stream too. Is that working? Let's see. He would become the warlord if they let him if they freed Arlong from prison. I have to go reread Fishman arc to see why he got in prison in the first place. I mean, we know the gist of what he would do, but I want to know more why he uh would do that. Also, is this in my voice echoing? I sound like I hear my own echo. I was just to open a window to get the sound out. My room would not echo so much. So shoot, how did I get in this tangent? Oh, villains not being seen. Yeah, the so Don Cregan. Don Krieg and Morgan and Kuro. Actually, yeah, three of them. Right? Is that it? I got so many notes. I gotta make little notes here. I got little sheets of paper here for notes. Wait, who do we see? Alvita, right? Arlong and Buggy, right? That's main ones. Um, yeah, so Morgan, Kiro, and Don Krieg were not shown. So that I said two before. So three villains that Don Krieg and Morgan in particular pretty much seem irrelevant after this story because we see what happens with Morgan actually because he's being transported, and this is where Garp was revealed in one of the cover stories. Probably the second cover story Oda did. I think Buggy's was first. I was just rereading some of those, so I get that stuff in mind. Uh, so Morgan, we know what happens to him. He's transferred to another prison. I think it's hinted that Arlong was being transported to a prison but escaped, but we haven't seen him since. And Don Krieg, we just know that his right hand man, they just walk off, carries him off afterward, and he's really not. There's really nothing else to do with him. He unless he starts training and becomes a really strong character himself, then can inspire more powerful followers. I don't see how Oda will ever want to bring him back. Kuro would be interesting to come back. He is a physically powerful character, uh, but I don't know if Oda will bother with him. So, anyways, um, yeah, let's go over some of this stuff that's so good about this trailer. Let me put this over here just a second so I can get. I took a bunch of screenshots and I want to put some up here. Like that. So, do I have this ready? So right off the bat, I want to show one thing I find a little not so good with sometimes with this show is the costumes. So this is Gold Roger's boots, and they just look a little too immaculate here because I think he was in prison for at least a year, and I feel like they should be at least very scuffed up, and it seems to be a thing across most of the costumes where they all look very new. And I'm not the only one that saw this. I was watching a lot of trailer reactions this weekend, and some other one else did that too. Like the costumes just always look too clean out of the box. I think was the way one person put it, and I agree with that. So I saw this. I didn't really think of it with the other costumes at first, but except when I saw that rewatched this morning, I saw Roger's boots look a little too much like they're clean for someone who's been in prison for a year. Uh, as for the Marine costumes, I think that works for them the best because they're all white and they have to look very clean and immaculate. So, oh, is that a gun she's holding too? I'm gonna put this also full screen. So this looks good. And I also like this building. I want to know where they put this. That dome reminds me of the one church in Florence. Did they film this here? I wonder where they would have filmed this. They have to do a lot of sea shots. It reminds me of that big church. I like that dome. So this is supposed to be Log Town. Uh, and so back to costumes. Yeah, most of the time to finish off, the costumes look fine. It's just how immaculate sometimes look, and it's gonna that's the same thing with Roger here in a moment. They show him here his costume. He looks raggedy with the way they made him look here with his face. I think that's great, but his outfit again, he's been in prison for a while, and he looks too. It looks too clean for someone who's been sitting or be sitting in a prison. I think Rogers is really the only one though that bothers me like that I can think of. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's the big thing. The big thing that looks a little weird with in an adaptation sense that looks a little off to me. So what I really like, one of my things I really like about this, if you go and point out throughout, is the attention to detail with certain things like this. These executioners are holding the correct type of whatever these weapons are here. And this is something they do throughout here that's probably a 10 out of 10 for me with this production. The detail to get the things to look right, barring what I just said before, the scuffiness of something like this is impeccable. They got the swords right. They got this here they got the marine outfit. They even do all kinds of little the logos. They got the marine logos here. Uh so they get that kind of stuff right. I'm gonna be pointing out a lot of that. Yeah, next here too with like quickly I point out too is Zoro here. I like that I can see all three of his sword sheaths in his little waistband here. So his whole outfit here is great. His and Luffy's and Nami's really stand out for me as far as like looking like they do at this point in the story. And I do now that I think about like that they change their outfits around for some variety. But initially I was like, oh, do they have to change them? But like they would have some other change of clothes now and then, like especially if they're like washing their stuff. So having some different stuff looks great. Uh, what else? Just looking at my things for my stream is looking good. Oops. Go back to that. Come on. I hate when it does that. Come on. God dang it. So there's that. Oh, that's what I gotta do for now. I gotta make sure I just go like this. There. Why does it do that? Oh, a second. This stupid thing. I was right, 'cause I can't touch anything like that when I'm doing that. No, get back up there. See one of those screenshots. So, uh, costume designs. Come on, stop doing it. You piece of shit. Uh, Same thing with her. So this is a good scene. It looks like Nami's navigating here. So I noticed that just like what does he call it? Juxtaposing scenes between the Straw Hats and Roger as he was giving his speech. Oh, here's one little thing too. I was kind of hoping to see a little bit of twirl on Sanji's eyebrow, just a little bit, but they don't have that. So I'm like, like, come on, you can't just. I don't care if it's a marker. Okay, maybe I don't know why Oda ever did the twirly eyebrow thing, but I that kind of threw me for a little bit. But Sanji's outfits look good too because he's got the he's impeccably dressed all the time. Oh yeah, and then there's Garp is here, and this is something too with this costume though does look a little. Look at this shoulder pad part, a little off there, but I'll forgive him. Um, and at first too, someone else had said this already too, but I thought, oh, Garp doesn't look that beefy. I wanted to see those big shoulders, but he's got the right look. Otherwise, he's got the goatee and he's the right age for the character. And also, again, they got the Marines logos here, really good. And I think this actually makes sense that he's there, because I was realizing when I looked at this part that when they show that scene, they don't show what if there were any high-ranking officers there. And given that this is the king of the pirates, they're about to execute. It's important to have a high-ranking officer overseeing this execution. So showing somebody there, any vice admiral that's at that would be at that time of that of that what's what I'm looking for? Someone who's got the clout and not clout to be someone who's they know can handle the situation. It looks good, and Garp fits the bill perfectly. Also, of course, it looks like Dragon is here, in the green. And there was something. Someone else was looking at this guy's outfit. It does look a little out of place there, but I don't know who that could be. We don't see. I don't think there was any other scenes that really helped point out any of the other. There were like a total, I think, of 7 people who are all important characters. So we got Buggy, Shanks, Dragon, Then we have some multiple warlords. Buggy's a warlord at one time. Doflamingo, Moria, and Crocodile. That everyone were all there at this execution, but Dragon is the one they show here. I think someone said they casted him. That's the thing I keep forgetting to look up as the cast. But I kind of want to be not be spoiled by what these other people do too much because I want to like see their roles in here. Oh, and there's Roger going up. Didn't realize that. So that's cool that they're showing Dragon. Because I assume they'll show him at the end of this because he is at Logtown to help Luffy and the others see him off. Which, by the way, it's funny they never reference that again. We still have nothing but like what Garp is doing. Like he did they even show him after Luffy got more bounties? I don't know, but he just so like we're seeing so little of him and how he's reacting to what Luffy's doing. Just like I was saying the other day that, about with Garp not reacting to how what Dragon is doing. But he's there to help Luffy off the Grand Line, so it's cool they show him here. Yeah, this outfit with him looks really good. Actually, this looks so comfy. I want to get one like this that he's wearing there. So this must be obviously where Luffy's on his own with his little boat before he meets Kobe. So I forget how that happened. Did he get a little boat? Did his little boat crash or something? It must be something like that. I'll have to look up that detail later. Uh, oh yeah, then we have the news coup. And I thought they looked really good here, of course. Also, I like the little detail where it looks like when Luffy correct me if I'm wrong if you thought you didn't hear this when Luffy asks him if you're with me and the news coup flies away, it sounds like he's laughing at him as if yeah right as if I'll stay with you, you're nobody. I thought for sure he's laughing at Luffy. And then we got the barrel where he ends up in, I forget how, again, I don't remember how he ends up in that barrel. I've been rereading through different chapters recently. Now I can't remember that. So, and then we get the, I like this setup too. Some of these little scenes like this look a little iffy too because they look like they're using some CGI. And this especially comes up with, I think it's Garp ship they show later. A little bit sketchy there with that, but I'm able to forgive him. This, by the way, yeah. With the amount of care I see in elsewhere in this, especially in how they casted the characters, the actors for the characters, how they are setting up to do the story. Well, that's one contention I originally had was like how if it looks too different, but I think they're doing a good job with. One second. I think they're going to cover the story enough where I'll be happy. Uh, One of my main things with all these animes movie adaptations is if they change the story too much. Like I heard a rumor, I think they're still doing an Akira movie, for example, and supposedly it's gonna be in New York and not Tokyo. And I am not for that. I want to have it in Tokyo with the right setting, with the right environment, personally. And if you want to change the story a little bit, I'll be fine. But I don't know if I'll be on board with that. I wasn't sure I'd be on board with this either, though, so I could be wrong. But the past ones are so bad. So, the CGI. What was I saying? Oh, the fact that they're getting so much else right. I am fine with all these little weaknesses. There's little things that look weak, but it does more of production stuff than uh anything else. So, yeah, especially like this boarding stuff, and then this music at this point was great because he sounded like that Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, by the way, if anyone out there can help me think of this, I want to think of someone. I really, if this goes well, I really want them to find someone who Johnny Depp can play later on. I'm trying to think of a goofy character that will fit Johnny Depp's look that he could come on for a few episodes or even just one down the line because this just has that pirates vibe, and having him in it would just get other people on board later on. So I like this little boarding part too because we've now seen piracy in action, and this is the stuff that makes the Marines have to hunt them which is funny because like Luffy and the others never do this, but they call themselves pirates, and then they get the bad rep that these others do, which is just what pirates are about, the name pirates. Which is funny too, because Luffy's all about, oh, pirates are great, and I was just realizing Luffy seriously, oh come on, hold on, you so good. Luffy, I'm gonna adjust this. Hold on. Luffy seriously does not understand what it means to be a pirate. He thinks pirates are he when Luffy talks about pirates, how fun it is. I realize he's referring more to like the adventurous stuff, that aspect of it, not the he doesn't understand the difference with. Come on, why is this doing this? Oh, is it because I got this on like that? Let me try this. Oh, it's because I'm doing that full screen. Okay, I won't even put full screen. That's why it's doing it. Hold on a second. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so I like that stuff. Let's see. Go over here. So there's Alvida. She's looking good. I sorry the shot was blurry. I was taking screenshots and it didn't work. So I wonder if they're just get a cast because she eats a devil fruit later, right? And changes into her look. It changes her. So I'm guessing this actress will only be playing this version of Alvida. They'll have someone else at Logtown at the very end. So she looks good though. Although I was hope I she's not as menacing as they make Alvida because she's got like that evil eye. Like she looks very stern all the time in the anime and manga. So they got her look otherwise. Yeah, this shot and then this shot is interesting. I'm still not sure what this is supposed to be, but it someone was saying that maybe this has something to do with them going to buggies. Because everyone else, including myself, was thinking about how this reminded us of later on with Thriller Bark and how they bring that barrel on board. But this is so far from there, and this is the Mary, and it's East Blue, and that ship's in Grand Line and all that, so it just doesn't work. So I don't know what this is. So I'm very that's the most confusing bit for me. Oh, and then Luffy's Jolly Roger is great here. So this must be toward yeah. This would be I think this is right before they go to Sanji's, the Routier, and then they it's Usopp who we see has good drawing skills to fix this later. So Luffy tried to do one himself. Um, by the way, Nami's wearing glasses too in this one shot, reading the map, and it's like I don't think she ever wore glasses actually, but it works for this. So okay, but yeah, the Jolly Roger's cute. I like they got that. This looks like it's from another shot. Is she wearing the same outfit? No. Then Zoro's got a different outfit. Oh yeah, Zoro too. By the way, he's got the right earrings. I'm glad they did that correct. He's got all the earrings he's supposed to have that he always wears there. Uh, this shot was nice. I'm supposing this is at the end when they're about to reach the Grand Line. Oh, is that one tangerine tree? Does she bring a little tangerine tree of Bellemir's with them? Looks like she has one there. 1, 2, 3. Well, where's Usopp in this shot? Just realized he's not there. So this looks good. Then there was this. Was this some other ship? What ship was that with the duck? I wanted to look up what this ship was. I guess when she's doing that little Grand Line speech to Luffy and the others about it. This ship gets crushed by a wave. Of course, Mihawk's sword looks really good. I think, even though it's going to be like a prop, I think this looks great, and Mihawk looks great. We'll get to that in a moment. That's the look the again their ability to get the looks right is awesome. They're nailing it with this kind of stuff. Oh, I see Zoro right there too. So this is obviously when he's gonna pull out Yoro and give Zoro a respectable defeat, I guess you'd call it, because he uh he realizes Zoro is the kind of swordsman who's not what do you call it? He's not some scallywag kind of swordsman. I'm gonna go ahead. Then his Buggy's oh yeah, Buggy's circus thing. So this is interesting that Buggy's doing like a circus show. I'm wondering like I wonder if this is one of the changes. So I've seen some things changes that other people noticed. We all noticed. And this one looks like I wonder if Buggy's doing like a circus show, like inviting other pirates there because I think he's still just terrorizing the village there. And there's a shot later that I suggest that to me. But this was one of the most interesting things of like difference because it looks like there's just a they're doing a circus show, and the other three are here. And then there's this scene. Was this the Baratier? This must have been the Baratier. I was trying to figure out what this was, where they're talking about making enemies. Let me go back to the circus. Uh, of course, then we get Buggy, and this actor's really got the look down again, and they got the costume again. This costume looks good, by the way, for Buggy. It matches perfectly. And this look, actually, the way this look starts where he shows him do that, I want to make a little, see if I can make that into like a little GIF. It just has that look of like, I'm gonna have to take care of this, aren't I? I just love this look from this actor portraying Buggy. And then they have this part where they get, it looks like they're gonna be ambushed here. Of course, he's got his swords out. So wait, do they even? That's the question. Actually, I don't think we still have seen Zorro, the actor playing Zorro, hold the Watto in his mouth. I think they're still holding it off because it's just gonna be tricky for some shots. Oh, actually, now that I think about it, maybe if they have to do that a lot, what they'll have to do is have it CGI the sword a little bit because that'll probably be tricky to have. Unless the prop is like made of foam and then it might look too fake. Maybe they'll just do something different for those shots where he has to hold a third sword in his mouth for certain fights. And of course, someone pointed out before, like maybe they'll just save those shots for. I think yeah, I was tagging. They'll save those for uh, uh, save those shots for main attacks, like his I can't remember his attacks off his hand. He's got some cool ones where he does the spinning sword thing, and he's got the Asura. All right, then we get the CGI with this, and this looks good. It's in the dark, which I see tons of people pointing out that the darkness always helps CGI. It's fine with me. So this attack, of course, this is one where he's going after them with his spinning his body parts and using his knife. So yeah, Buggy. Uh, by the way, that's one other thing I'm thinking about. It'll be interesting. Hopefully, these other actors. How am I gonna put this? Scheduling conflicts. There's always sometimes scheduling conflicts with actors where they won't come back. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with someone like this guy playing Buggy and the one playing Mihawk because they look so good as the role. I really hope there's like when these because some their characters are ones that don't show up a ton in the story. So Buggy after this we'll see him like two more times I think. Well, I've seen after this saga we'll see him at Logtown, and then we see him when he meets Ace, and then he always gets captured, and he eventually gets captured and thrown in Impel Down, and that's what the next big arc we'll see him a lot of, which could be many seasons off if this show continues. So I just hope that these actors keep their schedule open when that their time comes to show up again. So like Mihawk would show up again, particularly at right now at Marineford. So I hope that they're around to do that. So here I think is Garp's ship, and this is probably the CGI of ships look the weirdest to me. And I'm wondering why they're chasing the Straw Hats here, because I'm pretty sure they were. Was that them chasing Straw Hats? Oh yeah, this scene. I kept rewatching this scene with Kuro. Oh, I didn't get the other shot with the servant, but they did good with that actor dressed up looking like a little sheep man, and then they do that little horror thing with Kuro's claws. Can't get my camera coming out, and that looked really good. And this, I just realized this scene here is Kuro trying to stab Luffy. I thought the claws were originally coming up, but I could cut Kuro's gloves here. So clearly they're fighting inside here at one point before they, because the fight originally was up on that cliff where his ship docked, and that's something too. I don't know. Do they show who plays Kuro? Hold on. I want to see if they cast. I should just look this up. I want to see if they casted everyone who's gonna be playing all these villains, especially in here. Let's see. I know they some of them. I know they had. I heard they cast a dragon. Wait. Show more. Dracul, Arlong, Zeph, Krieg. Oh yeah, they got the guy for Krieg. Yasop. Is there? Let's see. Let's go to IMDb. Creators, stars, photos. Oh, there's 69 photos. Wait. Let me go. Wait, let me look at the cast quickly first. Do they have Kuro's cast? Shanks, Dunker. They've been telling how many episodes they'll be in. Wow. Do they know that for sure already? Morgan's there, Chizef, Kaya, Young Nami, Bogard. Oh, they got Bogard. They don't show anyone who's playing Kuro, I don't think. At least not in this IMDb cast. Wait, who's Kaya? Oh, Kaya's Usopp's love interest. The girl you like, Don Krieg. That guy looks like a muscly version of Michael. What's his name? Oh shit, what's his name? I'll figure it out later. Let's look up these photos quickly. I'll turn this on. What do they got here? Anything different? Dang. Where is this supposed to be? I thought this was at Arlong Park. Maybe it still is. The other fishman. That's Nami's room. Oh, there's a better picture of Vita. Okay. We saw that one. Oh yeah, the Lord of the Sea. Oh, that's the Lord one. The Lord of the Coast looks really good too, as far as CGI goes. What else we got here? Oh, I'll get to that scene later. That's the other one. Get to that later. That's from the other trailer. Oh yeah, there's the one from the other trailer. Oh, there's a great picture of Mihawk. Facial hair looks so weird in that one. I'll get that later. That picture looks so funny because you can tell she's kind of looks like that Marine's jumping backwards just in time. Oh, this is something else too. Yeah. So Nami definitely shows up earlier, and they already did this in anime, so I'm cool with it. I didn't even realize. I forgot that Nami didn't show up earlier. So she shows up first on Avita's ship. I think she's trying to steal the gold while Avita's crew are raiding that other ship. And then she shows up at Don Krieg, no, Captain Morgan's place because she's looking for a map, I think. So they're having her here, though, help here with Zoro's escape finding Morgan. So works for me this time because it's good to introduce her sooner, to have her develop more as a character. So it looks like they're doing that, and as well, I think they're gonna have Arlong show up sooner, which I'll get to in a little bit. Is there any other pictures different here? Oh, yeah. So his slingshot, I gotta look more into that because I know he gets that big one later on. Also, I gotta watch more of the interviews. I want to just really see how these guys are getting along together. I haven't what's that? Oh, there's the making of the Mary, and that must be Shanks' ship. I should have looked at these before. Dang, they're really building up that stuff, aren't they? Costumes. Let's see what else. Other ships. Oh, almost through here. Oh, some nice set photos. I also gotta look up into these actors. I don't know any of them. I feel like I've seen Nami maybe somewhere before, but that's it. Okay, that's almost done, isn't it? Yeah. Pirates are coming. Things say out wanted. Oh, they put wanted with the actors. That's cool. Okay. Hold on a second. Let's get back to this. So I was looking for who's playing Captain Kuro. I want to know who's doing him. So let me get this. Yeah, they do a lot of action shots here in this one from Arlong Park that I think look really good. Like we see Zoro here cutting down a fishman who was fighting with Luffy, and Usopp, Sanji's fighting the one in the background. And this set too looks like it's probably the best one they've done besides the Bratier. They got like this park setting with a tropical area, and yeah, there's like water slides and everything, and there's even some traction signs here that look really good. So they did great with that. Um, and again, yeah, Zoro's only holding his two swords, but I'm cool with that. Maybe just have him switch around swords. So that's something. Maybe they're just like, because he's eventually at the end of this, he's gonna get two really good swords. So the Wado is a Ryo Wazumono sword, so it's the second best tier, and his other two swords are just. Oops, I gotta put my display back on. Oops, I didn't put that on. Sorry. Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, these Arlong scenes look really good. Uh, the park scenes. Um, so what was I just saying? The set pieces look good. Oh yeah, the swords. So he's gonna get the Ryo Wazumono. He's gonna get a Wazumono and a what's the there's a Saijo Ryo. Oh, what's the third one called again? Oh, I had it in my head. The Ubasiri is the other one he's gonna get. That's in the third lowest, the third rank. So maybe when he gets those other two, Kitetsu and Ubasiri, they'll just have him like alternating, holding each two of the three in his hand from time to time. If he's not gonna like, I think he usually though doesn't Zoro usually put Wado in his mouth and he holds the other two, whatever other two he has, because he's upgraded his sword a few times now. And his, I don't think he's ever put the others in his mouth. I could be wrong on that. It feels like Wado is the one he likes to hold that way. Uh, so we'll have to check that out. But anyway, yeah, you got like Shark Attack as a sign here, and there's something else over there I couldn't see. And I like this set too because now we're seeing like the kitchen. I don't know what they're looking at, but they're like there's a kitchen here, and then the others are all there. That's a good kitchen. And then there's a Mary. Oh, then we get a good look at the Bratier here. They really went out with that. Looks like a lot of people docking there to eat. So that looks like a good way to do that, to have it like show that people are going in and out of the restaurant. And then they show, oh yeah, look at that. Luffy's got like a big rack of ribs. He looks like he just finished eating. And they're hanging out here at the Bratier. That was cool. Although he's supposed to be working at this point for Zeph to work off the damage he did. So that'll be interesting to see how that works out. That's something too. They didn't show Zeph at all. So they didn't show Morgan, Hiro, or Zeph. Of course, they don't show Bellamere. I'm sure they got someone for Bellamere. I know they casted someone for Nami's sister. So they're still holding out some other characters, side characters of importance as well, besides the villains in this thing. Uh, and this is supposedly the walk toward Arlong Park. Although I don't think they look intense enough there. They look kind of relaxed. So I thought maybe this was something else. I hope they pull that shot like they did in the anime and manga where after, yeah, this can't be because this is daytime. Maybe they'll do it a little differently, but uh, they they after Luffy leaves his hat with Nami, we see Usopp, Zoro, and Sanji waiting ahead of him from the comm and for them to go off to Arlong Park and for him to give the order. And it this looks like a different time of day because they changed the time of day of that scene. Hold on, we'll get to that. Anyways, so this is probably where Nami lives. I forget the locations, unfortunately. This scene's really good too, of course. I caught this right away in the anime. It really got me like I'm glad they're doing this with Bellamere here, her scene. I'm thinking this is afterward too, because she doesn't look as upset. Nami, I think she's contemplating whether she wants to go to the Grand Line when she's sitting here. I feel like it's afterward because she's also wearing this different outfit that looks very more like not her normal like outfit where she's ready to go off and steal from pirates. So this is cute because she's like staring at her, remembering her mother. And now we get to Arlong, of course. I think he looks great. People were complaining the most about this, I think, overall. Well, maybe not complaints. They have reservations, I should say. and I think this looks fine with me. I do agree, though. I wish we could make him look taller because Arlong's height is very important to his intimidation, and I hope they don't. I hope they don't kind of like skimp out on that when it comes to someone like Whitebeard later, or even kind of like Kizaru as well, because those guys are really tall, which also makes me worried about how they'll have to do Big Mom and Kaido. Though with Kaido and Whitebeard, I've seen some really tall, thick guys out there. They can probably find someone. Just like what Whitebeard, he's in his 70s, so I don't know how they're gonna do that. They'll have to. I'll be interested to see who they figure out how to do that. But I remember this movie that Jet Li was in, and there was a scene where he's fighting this guy who looks like he's 6'8" and he's beefy, big and bulky, and I'm thinking they can find someone like that easily. So a really tall bodybuilder of sorts to play Kaido down the line if they get to that. So this also brings up something interesting here. There, well, Arlong is showing up sooner because this is the Baratier, and in the story, Arlong doesn't show up until we introduce to him at the park where he's working with that. We see him and that skeezy marine officer doing business together, as it were. And so I'm wondering if here, what I had a thought of, and I saw some of the comments kind of, we're all getting on the same page with this, is what looks like might be going on is maybe Arlong, the way I see it, is maybe Arlong is suspecting, or at the very least suspicious that Nami's going to abandon his crew, so he's hunting after her sooner. Someone even said they thought he was at Buggy's circus place, which I missed. If so, that would be cool if like he's there looking for Nami a little sooner. He is worried about her coming, which would be really good because I think this is supposed to be only 8 episodes. And if so, you're not going to get enough of Arlong in only 1 or 2 episodes toward the end. I think it's a good idea to bring him in sooner that way. So this goes back to something too I was saying with how I usually don't like story changes, but I think this will work. If the story change works in the favor of the story, I am fine with it. So like with Cowboy Bebop, I only watched the first episode because I just was kind of turned off by it, and I hear that's supposedly the same production company as this. Which, if so, I think that looked pretty good. Cowboy Bebop as far as production. Same thing with the costumes though. They looked a little not too new. But I didn't like that they brought in shit. I can't think of her name now. I didn't care much that they brought her in sooner. What's her name again? I can't even remember their names. There's Jet. Uh, there's Jet. I can't remember their name. I can't remember their name anymore. Man, I just haven't watched that. I have to rewatch that again at some point. Faye. Now it came back to me. Her name is Faye. They brought in Faye too soon, and I didn't think it worked with that plot line. She didn't need to be there yet until they see her. I think they meet her in a casino episode or something. It's like the third or fourth episode, and it didn't work for me. And I heard they made a lot of other bad changes with that. That I was just like, damn, I'm not watching the weird changes they did with the villain. So like if I had nothing to do, but I'm always finding something to do, I'd check that out. But so if they bring in Arlong sooner, I'll be fine with that. I think they can make that work. By the way, his voice I think is perfect. He's got that menacing look to him, and again, the costume looks really good. So I'm thinking that this scene here where these two are looking afraid is probably the Brontier when he's coming. Also, by the way, I'm trying to figure out too. I'm hoping that doesn't mean I didn't see anything about Don Krieg. I hope they're not like taking him out as a villain because he's still an interesting villain. That wait a minute, we have to look at something. That actually reminds me. Where is they? I gotta skip some pictures to show you. Wait, where is Mihawk and his? Because they fight here. And they fight here. Oh shit! I don't even have this up still. when God damn it! Stop doing it. When these two fight, this is when Don Krieg is there, And I'm having a I'm thinking they're not gonna put Krieg in here because like maybe like what is Mihawk's motivation gonna be to show up there then? Although I did see in the I think it was in the manga. Yeah, I just read that. Like I think one of one of Zoro's um I'll find it. One of his bounty hunter buddies that they meet with right before they go to the Bratier also told Zoro in the manga like I hear Zoro frequents there. So I don't know if that's gonna be it. But that what I was about to say is I'm thinking if they still keep Krieg in the story, I'm imagining what happens is they'll have Arlong show up right afterward, and that's probably where he like collects Nami finally and brings her back to Arlong Park. If that's what he's going after her like that, like kind of like looking for her because he's worried she's gonna leave. Um. So yeah, I'm just wondering what's going on with Krieg that way. Let me go back. Where was I? Yeah, this scene. People are pointing out like this costume just doesn't look well with him, and I kind of see where they're going. But I'm like I already spoke about costumes. I'm not going to be bothered by that too much. They're doing so much else right. So they got this scene too. They still haven't shown Morgan, but they kind of show a little bit of him here. So yeah, he's still not holding the Watto. Every time they show Zoro holding a sword, I don't know if he's holding the Watto. Hold on, where's that scene where he's fighting the fishman? Oh, he is holding the Watto there. Yep, they're alternating it already. He's holding the black swords though when he's uh, fighting Morgan's men. And again, they have Nami helping somehow. I wonder what her motivation would be. Like, oh, they just catch her. They could like add it where they catch her looking, snooping around in the base like she did in the anime, and have her have no choice but to go with them. Of course, we got this scene here that looks like it's after he got injured by Mihawk, and that looks good too. We can't really see how injured he looks, but he's giving his speech about his devotion to Luffy, which is a great speech in the story. Yeah. Then there's the sword, whatever he's got there. That thing is awesome looking. And then we get the shown parts of Arlen Park's place getting destroyed, but to show a better shot later. And here's the shot too. I want to point out this is where I think they're showing what the buggy ball. Oh wait, no, you're right. This could be something else. No, I'm not sure. I was originally thinking this is the buggy ball destruction to that village, but it could also be because Arlong later we see destroys a part of the village in a rampage. That Usopp sees this in the story. Um, so maybe that's this part. But I was thinking this was the scene with the buggy ball destruction, too, because he has it's a special ammunition he's got for artillery of sorts for his cannonball artillery. Oh, then of course we get this scene, and it's done at night, which I'm fine with, and I know I'm gonna tear up with this. Even watching it in the trailer, I just love this scene. It's still like one of the best. Not much else to say there. It's just like it's just a great scene when Luffy shows, and I like what I really want to point out. Like my favorite part about that too is it shows to Nami, like what I feel like some people don't say, or unless I'm not paying attention enough, is that it really shows. What I really like about the scene is how Nami realizes that Luffy trusts her because she's had to work for years and manipulate people to steal money to try and free her village. And then at that point, Luffy or any other person, like most other people, would not trust her anymore. And he gives her the hat, his treasure, which he pointed out to her earlier. Don't touch my treasure. I love that scene because it shows how much he still trusts her. That he has faith in her. His instincts for how to trust people usually is spot on. And he gives her the hat to prove it to her. That symbolism of that trust is my favorite part of that scene. We also get this final like showdown of the Arlong and Luffy here, which I think looks good. I know again Arlong's not tall enough. I don't care. I wish he could be, but I'll live with it. He's got the intensity. I think the prosthetics work. Uh, oh, there's a scene too with her arm. So they do show later here, a little shot later where they show her bandaged up after she's cut herself up. So I like this scene too, where he's like, I'm gonna take you down, Arlong, because you you messed with my friends. That's the most important part." And then there's this picture, which I think is him destroying the Arlong's the building, because this is that navigation room, or I because the maps here, because Arlong was forcing Nami to make navigational maps because he wanted her to do it. His plan was to have her do it of the whole world because of because he wants to eventually take over the world, like this fisherman supremacy. But even with like his, their innate abilities, which gives him an advantage over most people, people in general, he wants to have all these maps. So he was having her make all this stuff. Um, Although I bet they have the hat on because this is a wig that they have to keep on, and the hat is just so good to use still, even though he'd probably look better without it. So he's destroying it. Oh, then here's Shanks, and I'm with some other people on this. I think the wig thing should have been a little better. Otherwise, I'm fine with this, and I like that they got. This must be later. This must be when he's talking to Mihawk or something, because he's got the scarf that Blackbeard gave him there, which looks good. And also, I'm wondering how they're gonna hide his arm all the time. They do a shot here where they hide his arm. Just making sure the camera didn't freeze. They have the cloak hiding his left arm after he's lost it. But I'm just hoping. I'm wondering how they'll be able to disguise that. I'm sure they'll have an easy. I'm sure that's easy. I recall other movies with characters with one arm. They have ways of doing that. It's probably pretty easy to do by now. Oh yeah, Usopp's little slingshot again. I'm not supposed to stay in that. Uh, and then they're fighting the guards here against Morgan. Oh, and here's Yoru finally in all its glory. This looks great. Actually, this reminds me now. Isn't there a channel on YouTube? And they make swords replicas. I think they did one of Yoru and Future Trunks' sword, among others. I would love to see that again. Yeah, of course, he looks really good. His beard looks good there. I mentioned this in the trailer too, but his eyes look great. They've nailed that. And I just pointed out about, I don't know when this takes, how they're going to have them come there though, but we'll figure that out later. And here's the Lord of the Sea. So yes, obviously you see he's got both arms. Shanks has both arms here. So this is probably going to be how he loses his arm. It looks like they're changing this a little bit here, where he's going to be on a boat with Luffy and loses his arm. Yeah, because it comes after him right here. Then we get some more shots of Sanji fighting. This looks really good. And finally, the Gatling. They show his jet Gatling, and this looks fine to me. I too was on the side too a little bit, like how his first pistol move in the other trailer looked a little weird, but it's something else I think they'll fix in time. And like if this show does well, I'm sure the budget will be better in the next time around. That they can make things look better. They can do more CGI cleanup and stuff. And there's Arlong again. Oh, right here, yeah. Here's the Shanks shot with the kid, young Luffy, and he does. Obviously, they can just hide his arm here, so they did a good job with that. I just realized too, by the time they probably get back, so there's that big flashback with this is something that happens frequently in movies. It's just something to note. If they keep this show going and they have to do that flashback with Ace, Sabo, and Luffy when they're little kids. No way they're gonna be able to get the same kid. I think, because they're gonna be. I think they're both about the same time or shortly after he meets Shanks, and that's gonna be years down the road. So I'm just thinking about that because they've done it before, where they had to hire other actors to play younger versions. Like in the Harry Potter movies, they had two. They had in the second movie and the sixth movie, they show that the younger Voldemort. Obviously, in the second movie, it's a memory of him, but they had to use an actor that's not what's his name, Ralph Fiennes. I forget his first name. Then they had to use a different actor in the sixth movie, and frankly, to me, even though he looked very seductive in a way, he almost looked too boyish in that seductive look that like Voldemort, how he's very persuasive. I really like the actor they used in the second movie they hired to play young Voldemort better, but they got someone else. Maybe they couldn't get the other guy, or maybe he looked too old by that point. 'Cause that was like probably 5 to 6 years later they filmed that. So anyway, yeah, Shanks. This is a great scene. They're showing him get the hat. Can't think of anything else to say on that now. Of course, he got the little rubber thing, and this looks really good. I like how they did this. It looks almost too realistic when him pulling out when he shows Avita that he's a rubber man. I like it. And here's the Axe Morgan's picture. Yeah, it's the only thing we get of Axe Morgan. We see the it looks really good too. I think his thing up and when he comes out. So again, he's not a villain that has a lot of importance. So I was a little surprised they're hiding him in this trailer, but I'm glad they're not showing everything either. Actually, you know what? They'll probably end up doing one more trailer. I bet. I bet they would do one more trailer and then they'll show like Kuro and him, and not show the Arlong scenes and others as much. So yeah, there's a picture of him again, and here's Luffy's other attack that looks I thought looked really good. Whipping the other way. Oh, the others jumped down. Oh, that's where he has Kobe and Zoro jump down, doesn't he? Hold on a minute. Oh, I see that. Do I got the video here? Hold on a second. I had the video up. Yeah, who's that? There's Nami. I see Zoro ducking. I can't tell if that's Kobe there, but Kobe has to be there. Um. Oh, that's different. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, back to where I was. Hold on. So, yeah, that's Zoro right there in the corner. So Kobe must be there next to him, and they show Nami back. So this is a scene where at first I thought actually I just rewatched this and I realized I thought when Luffy's foot came out here, and this is where he uses his final attack to stomp, whatever it's called, to take out Arlong. I thought he was kicking Arlong's teeth, but I think that's just a shark statue on the very top that he's kicking up. Also, by the way, he's wearing shoes there instead of sandals. But I guess that I don't know. Maybe they just don't want to show him wearing sandals all the time. Just another choice that isn't gonna ruin it for me. Oh, by the way, with that too, I was rewatching part of. Did I already bring this up? When I was rewatching Doflamingo's fight with Luffy, and Luffy uses Gear 4, I realized Luffy um uh he kicks his sandals off when he transforms, but when they show him use the Rhino Schneider attack against uh Doflamingo a few minutes later, they show that shot with his sandals on. I'm like, wait a minute, how are they back on? And they're all black and armored up, like with armament look, hockey look. That's just one of the weirdest things I noticed. Like, how did they do that? Because I don't think they ever show that again in that fight. I have to check again, but that was just a weird shot when his sandals were back on when they shouldn't be. Hmm. Another good shot of the Mary, and now I like this too because now he finally you see he's got they got a sail with the proper straw hat logo. It looks great. And here we go. I love this shot where they come in too. Uh, so Nami's there. Obviously got the scar bandage up now because she cut up her arm there. So that looks really good. And of course it looks they got it right too because she's wearing his straw hat first of all. Zoro's only got this one sword by now because Watto is the only one to survive Mihawk's attack. And so this just looks good in general. Oh, look, they got sharks around. And then, oh yeah, Usopp's got his, sorry, I was thinking something, a slingshot. So I just thought for a second, I wonder who they're going to hire to play Lucky Rouge. and Ben Beckman. I can't wait to see those casting choices. And then he says on King of Pirates. And I went over this before, but I like how they add these other posters too as well with the Avita and Cavendish are here, and then the next shot had Bellamy and Foxy. Yeah, I like this thing. Are you afraid of pirates? They have this stuff about piracy going on here. And this must be in this looks by the looks of this too. This must be the village where Zorro is being held captive. Uh, and Kobe looks good. They got Kobe down. They got the shirt, the glasses, the hair. I wonder if they'll still use the same actor. There's something else too with like actor changes. Where they use that same actor, where they just have him work out some, grow his hair out. I think that could work if they when they want to bring him back uh, at the post Enies Lobby arc. Oh, who do they get to play Helmeppo? God, I really want to see all these other characters in flesh. I I can't help myself now. I get giddy over this because I thought I was gonna hate this, but I'm really liking where this is going. I've been so burned by the other ones I've watched. So like I've watched I did watch Death Note. I saw Dragon Ball Evolution, Ghost in the Shell, um, Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is an anime, but that was terrible as well. Those three off the top of my head. Oh, they're so bad. And I think they made one. Oh, and there was a Blood the Last Vampire, but that was okay, but it still wasn't. That was probably one of the most accurate things I saw because it was based on that short animated film. So it's like Blood. I think they later made a series called Blood Plus, and it's a very dark anime, by the way. I liked it and didn't like it at the same time. Very cool story ideas, but very depressing. But they had this other short film where it takes place on a military base, and there's a vampire woman. She's like killing these other vampires that are like monstrous ones, and they made a movie on that, which wasn't bad. But still was like kind of different. They went for some of this crouching tiger, hidden dragon effects in that one. But that was probably one of the only things that was decent. So so obviously I was like very burned by a lot of these other adaptations, and I had become I'm still kind of am even if this does well, I am very apprehensive of um other studios, so Warner Brothers or Disney, um, trying to jump out there and buy up everything they can to make if this does well, because I just don't have faith that all anime, and especially if Western companies can understand how to translate these well. Like this is going to make some changes, I'm sure that's going to help that, but I don't think that will work for everything. Um, it's too bad, some things that probably would work would probably be some kind of kaiju style stuff. Or that Spy X Family would be kind of, I don't know about that. That would be something later to go over, like ones that could probably work. But uh, that it? Yeah. So Bellamy. Also, I hope that if these are actors they use the pictures of, so like Foxy and Cavendish and Bellamy, I hope they can get those same people to come back because they look good for the looks. For the and that's it for the pictures I got. So they look really good with the for the look. So I hope they still do that. Can get those people back if that's who they were to do that. So I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, and Roger as well. I hope that Roger's actor can come back. 'Cause they don't show him too many times either before he uh they don't show him too many times up until we see him again with that flashback with through Rayleigh going to telling the Straw Hats how he didn't actually turn himself in. So what else was I gonna say about that? Well, I'm just gonna look in here because they said about Fishman being there. Uh, Also, what's the scene too with Nami saying, "Oh, they're hunting you"? Is that something where she's talking about Oh, maybe she means the Marines hunting him. That's something too. That's actually something of interest. They show Garp there. I wonder if they're gonna have like Marines starting to hunt them a little earlier. I guess that could work. So once they start making a name for themselves, because in the manga slash anime, it's not until Logtown that anyone actually starts to pursue them. Smoker almost catches Luffy there until Dragon helps, and it's from that point on, especially throughout Alabasta Saga, we see him and Tashigi pursuing the Straw Hats and tracking them down to Alabasta, where they all end up getting caught. But yeah, maybe they'll have it where they're being pursued a little sooner here by by Garp of all people. Um, uh, so yeah, I can't wait to see this. I'm gonna have to figure out I'm gonna see this though, because it's gonna be on Netflix, and I don't have a subscription. I'll have to find it elsewhere. I'm just looking through it, see if I missed anything. Also, this one shot does look a little funny. When they show Garland kick Luffy out the door, that shot looked a little funny. You can tell that either your CGI or Luffy was being pulled backwards, or the stuntman, I should say, Luffy, looked a little odd there. That's another thing that's fine. Um, yeah, I'm just worried too they won't have Krieg and the others in. But otherwise, I guess that's it. I can't think of much else to put in. Um, I just hope Shanks and the others can really nail this rolls down. 'Cause I think everyone they did show that spoke. So the main Straw Hats, well, really don't. Oh, something to get a lot. The main Straw Hats and Arlong and what else they show? So wait, yeah, we really don't see any of the other villains speak, do we? We don't see. We didn't see Morgan, Keurig, Kuro, or Don Krieg's face, and Alvida, and wait, who am I missing? Morgan, Kuro, Don Krieg. Shit, am I missing? Is that it? Do we ever see the other four? Buggy, yeah, Buggy. We get in here. Buggy and Arlong. Sorry, Buggy and Arlong. We get to hear plenty enough. I think that they'll do good. I think everyone agrees that Buggy's killing it. I think Arlong's good and really good. So I just hope that we can see more of them soon. Well, maybe we won't need to. I really don't want to see too much more of the trailer until we get to the. I don't really. How do I put that? I really want to just wait now. I think there's enough there because now we got less than 5 weeks before it's out. That I would not. If I saw another trailer, I'd look at it again. But sometimes they just some of those third trailers for other productions usually just rehash the same stuff. Thankfully, this one barely did. They like showed 2, 3 shots for like Luffy on the uh, uh, Mary outside the Bratier. So that's pretty much it. Uh, I can't wait. I'm glad that they're trying. I really hope I gotta watch more of the production material and stuff with the actors. I want to see more about that. I'll probably spend some time with that later to get more info about what's going on. I did see briefly a part of that scene where they had Luffy meet the actor playing Luffy meet the voice actress who does Luffy's Japanese voice, and I thought that was cute. I guess that's it for today. I'll leave it here and I'll upload this as a separate little bit. And yeah, thanks for watching.